Available in paperback at e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. One of my viewers wanted to know why some husbands allow their wives to have sex with other men. Now, the viewer wants me to talk about the whole concept of the cuckold or the stag, and the motivation that a husband would have to have this wife have sex in front of them is all really about power. Now, with the cuckold, it looks like he's in a position of submission by passively watching his wife have sex with other men. However, in the cuckold's mind, they believe that they are the ones who are going to get a greater power by seeing their wife have sexual relations with another man. And they believe that they are going to be in a position where they're going to get greater power because in the position of a voyeur, they believe that they can basically be the god over that woman and over the men that she is currently having sex with. Now, in the cuckold's mind, he is believing that he is on the way to being a god and being a god over his wife and the men that she gets involved with because she can only have sex with those men with his permission. And with his permission, he believes that these men can go out here and have sex with this woman, and that basically makes it where he can be in the position of a god who basically can control everything in that environment regarding his wife and the relationships that she is having with these men. That is the main reason why the husband has no problem with his wife having sex with other men, because he gets pleasure from the rush of power that he has from being able to dictate the terms as related to the relationships that this woman is having and dictate the terms as related to who she's having sex with. He believes that he has even greater power because he can basically sit there and watch from a position of what he believes to be omnipotence, where he can basically create this whole situation. And as he creates this situation, he believes he's getting control over his wife, control over the men that she's involved with, and can basically take that other man's penis, and he gets joy from seeing that woman getting filled with another man's penis, because he gets pleasure from watching all of this go on. And this is basically where the cuckold is, why he's a sexual deviant. He's a sexual deviant because for him, sex is not about forming a connection with his wife or his girlfriend. It's not about forming a mental or spiritual or emotional bond with his wife or his girlfriend. No, it's all about him getting gratification as related to being able to sate his feelings as related to his ego regarding the power he can have over controlling a woman and a man's body. Again, this is a sexually deviant God complex that these men have. These men have a God complex where they want to be the God over the man and the woman, and they want to be the God over the man and the woman. And for him, it's not humiliation at all. That's where everybody gets the whole mistake as related to a cuckold. A cuckold is not, while he may be humiliated by the standards of other men, he is not being humiliated by himself at all. No, the cuckold is not being humiliated in his own eyes. No, in his eyes, he is getting power. Now, for the rest of us men, we can see where this man is being emasculated and having his manhood and masculinity taken away. We can see where his manhood is being stripped away from him because this woman is, as she's having sex with these other men, she has no respect for him at all, no regard for him at all, and believes that he is somebody she doesn't take seriously. And the other man is basically sitting there enjoying the pleasure of this woman as related to this man in his eyes being weak, and him allowing him permission to have sex with his wife. I mean, the cuckold basically, in our eyes, he's a joke, but in his own eyes, he believes that he's a god, and in his own eyes, he believes that he is somebody who has all the power. And since he believes that he has all the power, he believes that he can just do, again, whatever he wants. And again, he's the one sitting there looking at things and saying, hey, this woman is going out here and enjoying all of this sex with these men, but he's basically enjoying watching this woman, and enjoying the fact that she's just out here doing whatever she pleases, and it's not humiliation to him. No, as a voyeur, he's the one who's sitting there watching and saying to himself, I am the God over all of these people. But the sad part is that this God is a false God. And again, this false delusion of godhood basically makes it where people don't take this guy seriously. Don't take this guy seriously because he's not really anybody anyone respects. And sadly, it's this delusion that motivates him to participate in this sexual deviancy. And again, this is sexual deviancy because this is not healthy behavior that any man participates in. No, healthy men and women come together in a sexual relationship because they want to be closer to each other. They want to be closer to each other, and they want to bond together mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But the cuckold doesn't want to bond with anyone, and that's why he's willing to give his wife's body away. He's willing to give his wife's body away because he wants to become a god on earth. He wants to become this god on earth. And as he becomes this god on earth, he wants to be like God and watch over these situations. Watch over these situations because in many cases the cuckold encourages the woman to sleep with other men and oftentimes puts cameras in the room so that he can watch. He puts cameras in the room so that he can watch this pleasure as to his gratification of pleasure, and again wants to do this and do it because he wants to be out here looking to gratify look to get his emotional needs met by what we believe to be humiliation. But this is what inspires this man to basically encourage his wife to participate in adultery, encourage her to participate in adultery with another man. And as she participates in this adultery, in a lot of cases, what this does is trigger hypergamy in this woman, especially if she finds another man out here who is more successful than the man that she has. If she finds another man who is more successful than the man that she has, this is what leads to this man suffering the ultimate humiliation as his wife eventually leaves him because she's already left him spiritually, because when a man and woman have sex, again, the man's spirit and DNA enter into that woman, and that is what leads to them bonding. This is what I know and what Ringo reinforced in his live streams. And the whole thing is once that woman gets another man's spirit and DNA inside of her after having sex with those men, this is what creates the adultery, and this adultery is what leads to this man and woman looking to possibly separate and go out here and be with somebody else. And as that woman basically gets her emotional and spiritual needs met by another man, this is where the cuckold goes from being the god and goes back into being an emasculated man who gave away his power because this deviant basically does not want to, again, enjoy sexual pleasure with a person, doesn't want to be intimate with a person, doesn't want to bond with a person because they want to be in the position of a god. And because they want to be in the position of a god, they don't want to share power in the relationship, because being a man means you have to share your power as you bond with that woman, and you have to share intimacy with that woman. But this man doesn't want to share intimacy with that woman, and he doesn't want to share intimacy with that woman. He doesn't want to connect with her himself because he's too busy being a god in his own eyes and being caught up in his delusion. And again, this deviant sexual delusion is something that keeps men from getting closer to woman And again, the cuckold is a sick man who can't get close to women in relationships, can't get close to women in relationships, and can't love women in relationships because he's so busy caught up in his God complex that he can't connect with other people because, again, a God is not a man. And again, a man is the only one who can connect with a woman in a relationship, and that's where the cuckold gets it twisted. And again, his motivation for having his wife have sex with other men and get pleasure from it is basically his need for power, his need for control, and his inability to, again, connect with someone emotionally. That is what motivates a cuckold, and again, a guy to have his wife go out here and pursue relationships with other women, other men, and even other women, because these guys basically encourage their women to have all sorts of relationships. And again, this is all done because this man can't really, again, have a connection with people emotionally. And this is where a psychotherapist has to come in and find out why this man has this low self-esteem and low self-worth about himself, that he can't share himself with someone else. This is where a man needs to get some help. Again, the cuckold is a sick man who basically, again, promotes sexual deviancy because he is afraid of being intimate with the woman that he married. Now, this was a video requested by a viewer, and if you want to request a video, you can drop a donation for a minimum of $15 to the PayPal or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to learn about why men like this explore this deviant behavior, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.